All right. We're live. Hey, Brian, Pepling Creeks Aquatics. Thanks for being here. Who's getting plugged today? There's 7 people getting plugged today, or 7 channels. I know it's been a long while since I've done one of these. I think we're on episode number 11, if not mistaken. But I was just curious. I was actually recently, I was at the store and I picked up, this is what I was using before, this little journal, but it's one of those real cheap and expensive ones. Um, got it from my grandkids. They were using it as scrap paper for drawing and stuff like that. But the binding on this is starting to come undone, and it's not very good quality. So I was at all of it just kind of falling apart. And I actually do use these quite a bit for different things. And so I kind of upgraded myself into getting a one that's a little bit nicer. And hey, Bratton, thanks for dropping in. Jody P, hey, thanks for coming in. So, I kind of right now is in the process of transferring information from the old one to this new one. And I was kind of curious because I know I've done 10 of these. This is number 11, but I was just trying to figure out how many people or how many channels I've kind of, hey, Stephen P, how many people I've kind of, I guess, introduced. I don't know if that's the right word, but kind of shared with you of channels that I've come across and found interesting in. And I couldn't believe how many channels I've talked about. I think there's like a total of 63 channels so far that I've kind of talked about a little bit and kind of shared with you guys. Unfortunately, some of these channels I don't think they're active anymore, but that's just kind of the normal thing that happens with a lot of new channels that come up. It's hard. It really is hard to stay motivated, and and just in general life, everyday life happens. Hey, Uncle Smiley, thanks for coming in. What? Just one more fish, Jesse. Thank you for joining us. And it's really cool because I look at the chat, and a lot of you guys that are here are people that have been on this list, and hopefully we continue that trend today. But like I said, just in a quick countdown that I did, it's 63 channels that that I've kind of gone over one way or another. Uh, I don't know how long would it take me to read 63 channels. Let's see. Let's find out. That way, I give a little bit of time for people to show up. But starting with Jamal's Tube, Dave's Fish Room, Museum of Aquarium and Pet History. This one changed his name. It used to be Natural Aquariums, but now it's Edgar's Fish Channel, and he's the young man from Germany that I've had on as a guest too. New Age Aquatics, Josh Exotics, Animal Instinct 205, J Rock Does Stuff, Caroline Scapes, Creekwood Aquatics, the Fish Room, but it's TH3. Everybody Aquatics, the Jungle Nook or Jungle Nook, Aquarium Mike, Lake Missoula Aquatics and Plants, the Aquarium Guys, Scrape Aquatics, Big G Fish Tanks, Flow State Aquatics, Ogo's Fish Room, Tabatic Aquatics, Cichlid Hut, Pondside Aquatics, Simple by Nature, Growing Up Fish, Shamu Aquatics, Topic Aquatics, 10-gallon fish tanks, Scallywags Fishbowl, The Fish Shed, August Duwell, Brenton's Fish, Bucket Pond, Fish Capades, Jody P, Any Fish Will Do, Moneyless Maven, CR Fish, Killy or Corey, Gerald Basilier or Dr. Basilier, Splash Tanks, Forever Aquatics, Dio Aquatics, Schools of Fish, Fish Scales and Shrimp Tails. I got a fish tank. Besides Peaceful Waters, Our Fishy Fam, Our Little Fish Room, Standard Aquatics, Brendan Minnow, Fantastic Fish with Lynn, Mini Biota, My Little Fish Room, Seasick, Third Gen Aquatics, Chuck's Fish, Justin Turner, Josh's Fish Spot, Shiaki Inoara, or Medaka Meadow. I think that's what he goes by. Guplets, Fish Happens Indy, and K McGuire. Those are the ones that have already been on one of the episodes. But so today we are doing episode number 11. So I've got 5 newer ones. Some of you guys might know these, some of you guys might not. Hey Keith, thanks for dropping in. David's Aquatics, thanks for dropping in. Let me see who else. Oh, there's Chuck's. Who else? Who else is in our? David, peces y más, ¿cómo estás? Oh, that's another one that I want to do. I don't know. I'm okay, and I might need some help from this. Actually, one of the channels that I'm talking about today is also a bilingual channel, and I always get excited about that. I don't know why. What's his name? Steve Warrior Planetics always used to give me a hard time about me getting excited because I would find channels that would also speak Spanish. And I'm coming to find out that in our community there is actually a few people that are also bilingual, and so the one that surprised me the most is knowing that Ben Ochart actually is very fluent in Spanish. And so I think I'll do an episode of channels that are here in the States and that are also bilingual. And some of them have actually done at least a video in Spanish just to kind of make aware of other hobbyists that are out there. Mix Kelly's a big old fan of the bye. Yeah, I am. And that way you're bilingual. Oh, that's not Spanish, it's Jewish, right? Mel, you speak Hebrew? Is that what it is? Is that the correct word? I think it's Hebrew, right? The correct term for the language. But yeah, that's it's always interesting when you find that stuff out. It's little things that are yeah, Hebrew, yes. Okay. So it's not helpful. Yeah, it is. It can be. I mean, some people would say Spanish is not helpful, but I've had it come useful. Well, anyways, now that people are starting to roll in, let's get to the channels that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And the first one that I want to present to you guys is his channel is Matt. What is it? Matt Fish. And no, it's not Matt from the fish shop in the UK, who happens to be MD Fish Tank's buddy. No, this guy is here stateside. Hey, Kyle. And his channel, let me see. Let's do this. Share the screen. YouTube. All right. So let's go over here. And this will be the first channel we're going to talk about. It's this channel right here, Matt Fish. On his little avatar, it's a little blue polar coming out of a little cave. And in one of his videos, I was, he's going through the process of building out his fish room in his basement. And let me see. Let me go. I got to share. Oh, you're not seeing it. There you go. Now you are, huh? I did this last time too. Is it up there? Okay, there we are. And he's in the process, or maybe he might have completed already, but I know when I first saw one of his videos, he was kind of building out his fish room in the basement. He had to build an entire staircase to get down to it. One of the things that I find interesting that he talks about is that I guess he's kind of building it in the side of a mountain where he lives. And the water tables are very high. He says it's like a natural spring area. So it's really interesting to see the things that he's had to do to condition his fish room for all that water that'll seep through the walls, because it kind of periodically does that. and all the flood prevention methods that he's doing, and all these little things that you never really take into consideration when you're building out a fish room. It's nice to see his take on that. um, I know that he's getting close to retirement. He might, I don't know if he's already retired, but I know he mentioned in one of his videos that he was going to retire pretty soon, and he was going to start being a little bit more active on his channel. He doesn't have a whole lot of subscribers. Let me see how many he actually has. Let me do this. Get myself out of here. Nope. Let's see if I go solo. No, it's not what I want. I want this one, but okay, you don't want to do the layout no more. There we are. Um, I think he's only up to 146 subscribers right now. He's got about 80 videos that he's done. He's got several shorts. He, like anybody that has a fish room, he's kind of sharing what he's doing with his fish room, what he's feeding, what he's breeding. Yeah, I know has some guppies, some plecos. Um, I don't know. His ultimate goal is to eventually start selling. Like most people that build out a fish room, that is kind of one of the objectives, is to eventually sell some of his stuff. I don't know if he's doing there locally. What I haven't been able to pinpoint is what part of the country he's in. He might have mentioned it on maybe on a different video, but yeah, it doesn't say in here. But the channel is relatively new. It's only been around since 2022. Um, but yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool. I'm always interested in looking at people's fish rooms and learn from what they're doing. See what ideas I could take from what they're doing and kind of incorporate them to my hobby. So he's one of the ones that I wanted to point out. Go check out his channel if you guys enjoy it. Well, make sure you guys give him a sub and you continue to follow his progression and like his videos. Renee, thanks for coming in. Let's see who else. Oh, hey, Greg, thank you so much for dropping in. 6 months. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Um, let's see who else. Who? We had Greg come in. I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Mel, Kyle, I already talked about. I'm always talking about Kyle. Never in a positive light though. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So the next one I have for you is New Hat Gardening. This channel, I became aware of it because of Vibes Aquatics. Apparently, hey Lance, thanks for dropping in. Apparently she either lives in this. I think Eddie refers to her as his neighbor, and so I don't know. They must live in the same community or same area. But her channel I've kind of really enjoyed because one of the things that I've been interested in lately is plants. And it's interesting enough because her channel started out as a plant channel and she started getting interested in fish. So it's kind of like she's going in one direction, I'm going in the other, and we're kind of meeting in the middle. So I've really enjoyed her channel because lately she's been doing like a lot of let me go back over here and make sure you guys are seeing this. Yes. Um, I haven't heard her mention her name yet, so I don't know. I don't know her name. Um, Sue. I guess it's Sue. Yeah, please contact Sue. Well, there you go. I should have checked the the more. So Sue has lately been doing a lot more stuff with aquatics. Like I said, her channel primarily started as a uh, as a gardening channel, and I don't know how the connection is with Eddie, where if they met each other at one of the local swaps or something like that, which I think she did. But I like the fact that she does like a lot of mini ponds. Uh, she goes a lot to like thrift stores and buys, as you guys can see, like these ceramic vessels, and she does these really interesting waterscapes. Pond. I don't know what to call them. I mean, it's just a merger of different hobbies. Oh, they have a pet pig friend. They have a pet pig uh, who comes out in some of the videos. And like I said, if you go back far enough, you'll see that that she was doing a lot more stuff with gardening stuff. But slowly, she's kind of progressed into more doing of the aquatic stuff. She's really picked up on doing a lot of the aquascaping. One of my favorite things that she did is this little this one right here. Let me make where she did a shallow aquascape. Uh, I really, really like that tank. As a matter of fact, I told her that I'm using that as inspiration for some the new direction that I want to start setting up some of my tanks. Um, I really, really enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, like I said, yeah, this is a new store. The aquariums of aquatics has a new location out there in Austin. So she's in Austin, Texas. Uh, but like I said, I've it's something that I've really enjoyed. I love watching her little scapes that she does and the progression and evolution of that. Um, she has because she's been into gardening, she kind of has a better idea of which plants work well with doing like above the tank or above the aquarium plants, and she's learning more about the aquatic plants. But like I said, it's just a channel that I really found interesting. Um, Sue, which is New Hat Gardening. Really enjoyed it. So, can I see it coming? Jorge injecting CO2. You know what? It's not out of the question. I think for CO2 though, Stephen, because your last video that you did on that really, really changed my perspective on CO2. It was so funny because a lot of the stuff you were talking about, like the negative comments or the mistaken comments, I could almost hear word for word comments that I've made myself about CO2. And a lot of it is just, from the ignorance of not understanding how CO2 works. The one thing that really fascinated me that I had no clue about is when you were talking about how we think that a lot of the low light, low requirement plants are not good candidates for CO2. And you were mentioning that those are actually the ideal plants to run CO2 on, which kind of makes sense because one of the problems that you start running into with a lot of those low light is that we have an excess of light because we think we're going to make them grow quicker, and all we end up with is a bunch of hair algae or black beard algae on them. So yeah, a lot of people think that. So I did. I'm going to be honest with you, and this is not to, um, you know, not to only smoke up. I, I can't find my words. This has happened to me lately, but I thought it's one of the better videos that I've seen in a long time that really puts CO2 in simple terms, if that makes any sense. And so to me, I really do appreciate it. Not only the fact that it's well edited. You always have a really good delivery, which is one of the reasons why I've always enjoyed your videos. You have a real knack for incorporating humor and information, which is something a lot harder to do than people realize. Trying to be funny and smart at the same time is challenging to say the least. But you nailed it. I love the fact that you were able to incorporate some of your own even drawings to kind of illustrate um, some of the concepts. To me, it's like I said, it was a easy watch. Went by real quick. It's not a very short video, but the way you structured it, the way it was worded. I mean, um, one of the better videos I've seen regarding that subject. So I really do appreciate that. So yeah, the now that I have a better understanding of the benefits of CO2, could be the only thing is that I feel if I do that, I'd have to do it indoors. Don't ask me why. I think just because I think I would have to be messing with it a little bit more. I know my tanks in the garage, I tend to neglect a little bit more, but they're kind of set up to be neglected. I know you can automate a lot of the stuff, but high temperatures always worry me with pressurized equipment and electronics. Heat is not very friendly to that type of subjects. That type of equipment is really what I'm looking for. But yeah, that's New Hat Gardening. She's out of Austin, Texas. Apparently, she's Vibes Aquatics neighbor. So, hey, Tommy, thanks for dropping in. Aquaballs, George, thanks for stopping in. George, you never got back to me on a time or date. You know that, right? I'm still waiting on you. Um, so not to put you on blast in front of everybody, but yes. Renee, thanks for dropping in. Uncle Sam, Uncle Smiley, Uncle Sam. Thanks for being here. All right. So moving on to the next. Hey, Ron, how you doing, buddy? So the next one that we have is uh Ella Ella Aqua, or Ella Aqua is what I would call it, because I read it in Spanish. But Ella Aqua, I believe, is out of the state of New York. And if I'm not mixing up her channel, I believe she's got like a little betta tank that she set up at her workplace. And that's, I think, when I first came across her channel, that's what she was doing. She had just this one little, I want to say it was like a 2-gallon cube with a betta in there. Hey, Ed. And she had set that up. I'm hoping I'm not messing up her channel. That's what it is. But I kind of remember her being that. Now, this is a channel that I just recently found out that she wants to start doing content in Spanish also. So that's why I was like super stoked when I saw that video. I was like, yes, somebody else that's a little bit like me. She only has well, she's been pretty busy. She has like 149 videos, but she only has like 331 subscribers. I'm pretty sure yes, she's really into goldfish. And so that's kind of the thing. Was it a goldfish tank? I kind of remember. Now I'm starting to doubt that I might be mixing up her channel then, because I could have sworn it was a small little tank that she had at work. Let me see if I can find that video, because it was a while back. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right channel, but I do know that she was doing some content in Spanish. She's talking about feeding peas to goldfish to help them with as part of supplementation for their diet. So I thought that was really neat that she was doing that, because there's a lot of us here in the States that even though we do speak English, a lot of us English is our second language. And I know for the longest time I would consume information in Spanish a little bit easier um, than in English, until it started becoming second nature. But uh, especially for like really sophisticated or more complicated content, I preferred listening to it in Spanish, and then kind of mentally doing the translation. So yeah, this is her channel. I don't know what's going on with my computer. It is acting weird. Excuse me. But yeah, she's really into the little ranchu goldfish. Well, just goldfish in general. So that's her channel there. A little bit of information of how to treat goldfish for diseases and stuff like that. So that's another channel that's out there. Like I said, it's great to know. Uh, Even if we're not creating necessarily a lot of videos in Spanish, at least if you know the fact that if you have a question and you feel more comfortable asking it in Spanish, well, you know that you could probably message her or me, or and see the other one's Anna, but she just recently started channel, and she's out of Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. And but she's right now has been down in Mexico visiting family like for the last month, so she hasn't done anything that is fish related. Uh, Although I think she did go to a pet store down there in Morelia where she's visiting her family. And so let's see. Let's go back. Hey, MNC, thanks for being here. So that's her chat. I don't know why my computer is glitching. It's weird. I don't know if you can see. I guess you can see that, but Her header is not coming up. Okay, well that's that one. The other one is Yancy Martin. This is a young couple out of California, out of Chico, and he's only got like two videos, I believe. Yancy. Oh wait up. Let me do the his is he's only got like two or three videos. Let's see. Martin, is it 01? 01, because or else it won't bring him up if I don't use his there it is. Yeah, he kind of changed it because I don't know why that banner keeps flashing. What the hell's going on? That's Ellis or Ella. But he's really new. And he's actually what I like about this channel. I don't think he's ever kept fish before, and he's kind of learning. And he tells you in the very first video that he's done a little bit of research. He's I guess looked at some of the obviously the bigger channels that we all come across, and it's been kind of taking some advice there. Um, and he's in the process of setting up his very first. I think it's like a 10-gallon tank that he has. But you could quickly see that he's starting to get that MTS in him. But he's kind of taking you to the process from the very first day that they got the equipment. He kind of talks a little bit about cycling the aquarium. There's a couple things there that I don't know where he got his information on, but um, but uh, to me that the whole cycling aquarium really varies a lot in how you go about doing it. Because I can cycle an aquarium pretty quick, but because I already have cycled media, like most of us that have been in the hobby for quite some time, a sarcasm. uh, most of us that have been in the aquarium, we know that you can uh, instant cycle is not necessarily the correct word, but you can expedite the cycling and by using hey Christian um, by using established media. And so he's kind of going through that process. Him and his wife, they're like a team that's doing the videos, and it's just they kind of share a little bit of their everyday life, and then their ventures of going to the fish store, picking up stuff, uh, getting information. Yeah, they're still in the process of sorting out good information from just regurgitated information. And I think that'll come with time. The more time they spend in the hobby, the more information they consume, they're going to be able to discern from the good information or the stuff that people just regurgitate because they've heard it said over and over again and they think that to be the truth. But again, that was a channel that, like I said, I've kind of been enjoying watching them. Um, their progression. They're gonna be going through their learning period, and but at least they're sharing that with other people. Uh, I can already see that they might have a couple of issues with their planet tank, just because of they're using nutrient substrates. In my opinion, they don't have enough plants in there, which I know is going to generate hair algae in the near future. But you only know that from experience. It's stuff that it's that trial and error. My only thing is I hope they don't get discouraged. I hope I can help them to continue to understand that that's part of the learning progress. So I'm kind of looking forward. Hopefully they don't get discouraged by by the missteps they're going to take because they're beginners. We all have done them, and we kind of see the handwriting on the wall when you watch the videos and go, "Oh, you're going in that direction." I've made some comments. I don't want to be preachy about my comments that I've done. Hey, Steve. Oh, good. Steven and Joe are here. Um, so that's the what is it? The fourth channel that I wanted to talk about. The fifth one is Darr Aquatics. Now, these channels I really get excited about because it's no different like Jody P and her venture right now, um, and Chris. And you people like Jesse, people that that are building businesses off this hobby are the people that I really love to champion, and I wish them the best of success because, like I was telling me and Funk were talking about this the other day. Um, God, if you guys can't make it, we always um want to make sure that these people make it because we at one point or another, that's always been a thought that crosses through our mind. And so to me, it's like really important to see these people succeed because then that gives hope. Uh, I thought Darr had disappeared. I might be a different Darr. I don't know, but it's a young couple. If we're talking about the same ones, they're out of Southern Oregon. Um, and if I had to guess, they're like in their 20s. I don't think they're much older than that. And they just have a newborn baby. He's got a fish store. I'm not sure. Yeah, same people. Okay. Yeah, they're back, I guess. I think she was the reason they took a little bit of break is because they have a newborn or a 2 year old. No, it's a toddler. I think they what he said yesterday in the live is the baby has been in the fish room since 2 day when she was a 2 day old baby. Um, so yeah, I think that's why they might have taken a break, but they were doing an unboxing yesterday um, of inventory they've gotten in. So they're back in full swing, if I'm not mistaken, Steven. Mm. Let me put their channel up because let me see. Darr Aquatics. Is it with apostrophe? Yep, there it is. Yeah, they're out in Southern Oregon. I don't know how often they do the live streams, but I know yesterday. What is going on with that screen? Let me try this. It's annoying me. So let me open it up again. Sorry about that. Darr Aquatics. Let me open that up. All right. Now let me share it with you. There you go. Stephen P beat me to the punch. You already dropped uh the link to their channel. Yeah, and like I said, I really, really wish these people the best of luck because they're the hobbyists that decided to take that one step further. Uh, so they I guess they did open up a physical business. It's always the one thing that a lot of hobbyists always think about doing, and it's exciting when you see them pull the trigger. It's even more exciting when you see them succeed, because that gives the other hobbyists the hope, that you can do this. So obviously, running a business is very complicated. There's a lot of issues that will come up sometimes that are unforeseen. A lot of extra expenses that sometimes occur. But I love watching them because even from all the like the stuff that Jody's doing and Chris and even like established businesses like Aquarium Co-op or Dan's Fish, um, hearing their experiences, especially the downfalls, the mistakes that are made. Those I think are even more valuable because mistakes in business um, is means money. That's really what it boils down to is money. Like also Keith, he's been doing this for a long time. Uh, it's not easy, I can tell you. Yeah, I know. And here's the one thing that sometimes I worry when people say, "Oh, I want to start up a business," but they're doing it with the idea that they're not going to have to work as much, and that's never going to work. Um, More than likely, you're going to end up working a lot more than you ever anticipated. Now, here's I guess the bright side of that is you're going to be investing your time in something that you enjoy doing. So that in itself is always a little bit better. At least it keeps you motivated to continue to do, um, to continue taking strides in that direction. But this is their channel. It's Darr Aquatics. A lot of it is what you would expect from a business. They do some unboxings. They're kind of going around um, showing the inventory that they have. Smart. If you're gonna have a elite menagerie, thank you for being here. She's another one that has that's partnered up with uh with uh with the store. I can My brain is stuck. I can't get out of first gear. Mm. And well, anyways, that's their channel. Like I said, I for some reason I don't see their lives. I don't know if they're not saving them. Oh, you know what? Because I think it was in vertical. And I don't know when you do the verticals, I don't know if they get stored on your channel, which is crazy. Because I don't see them. I know they were live yesterday. As a matter of fact, Jeff Kane was there. And I forgot who else I saw there yesterday that they were, we were kind of going back and forth in the chat. But I don't know why I don't see their lives unless it was through Facebook. That could have been it. Maybe. I don't know. But like I said, this is another channel. Wishing them the best of luck. Um, if you're interested in seeing what they have, um, as far as fish, I believe um, the young man is really interested in plecos, as you guys can see. And I call him a young man because I remember. I don't know if Darr is his last name or that's his first name. Stephen P probably knows. But that's the one of the other channels that I really wanted to share with you guys. Go check them out. If you like what they're doing, again, give them a sub and give them a like. Now these are the bonus channels, and I'm glad both of you guys are here. All right, before we do this, I really need a. Let me get rid of this for right now. Okay, I have to apologize. And the reason I say this because I've been so focused on trying to bring you new channels, and in a way, I've kind of neglected our own community. So, what I want to start doing from now on is I want to start bringing some of you guys that are in the channel that I know you guys make videos, and there should be no reason why we're not all sub to you guys. And the first one I wanted to bring up was Big Steve's glass boxes. Steve, Big Steve. It's I can't believe that as much as you're involved in the community, you go to a lot of the events, that your sub count is not higher than what it needs to be. Um, I know you and I have, you were like one of my first people to pop up in a live stream that I ever had. And, we've talked about that. I know you're very involved with your local fish clubs in your area out there in Maryland. Um, so, this is one time where I'm going to ask you guys, if you guys can show a little bit of love, especially because you guys are part of this community. You support a lot of other channels. I see no reason why all of us shouldn't be sub to your channel. Um, so, if you guys could, let me, let's do this right and show you what Steve's doing. No, this is the wrong one. Big Steve glass boxes. Oh, if I knew how to spell, it would be much easier. Life would be better. That's what you get for a public school education. All right. So this is Steve's channel. Let me no, not remove him. Add him. There we go. Come on, guys. There's no reason why we shouldn't be sub to his channel. Um, I know he does mostly shorts, but I think it just as a solidarity, we should be subscribed to Steve's channel because he's a big part not only of the community, but he goes to a lot of the events and he does a lot of stuff. The big thing is that Steve actually does. I mean, I've heard him make comments regarding the hobby, and he knows a lot more than he leads on to. And so, if you guys would be kind enough, make sure that you guys check to make sure you guys are sub to his channel. And maybe in the near future, we can inspire him to start sharing some of his knowledge with a couple of videos that he might post for us. So Steve has a lot of different fish. Yeah, I know. And he's always talking. I'm always really surprised that somebody will mention like a like a new species or something, and Steve will be all over it. Oh yeah, you got to do this, this, and that. So I know that he is he has a lot more knowledge that he could easily share with the rest of us. So if I know a lot of us um will take it for granted because we see a lot of our mates, our friends, acquaintances, whatever you want to call it, in the chat. And a lot of times we don't realize that we're not even sub to them. Ron's only 27 away from 1,000. That's fine. There's no shameless plug. This is called the plug for a reason. Yeah, Ron, all he needs is 27 for 1K. I think if I'm not mistaken, Fish Fam Link has a way to track the channels that are getting close to these milestones, at least to the 1K milestone. If you guys are ever curious as to who's close to reaching those milestones, that would probably be a good resource to go check out. The other day I was trying to look, but I was looking for my work on my phone, and I couldn't link up to the site, but that's just because I'm in a bad area. Oh, was it? That was. Oh, you mean the first live stream you did? Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you accepted, because if not, then I don't know. I would have to find somebody else. But yeah, that's one of them. The other one, and I know he hasn't really done a full length video either, and that obviously is Uncle Smiley Aquariums. Joe. Joe has been in just about everybody's live stream, not live stream, but in the chats. That it is crazy if you're not sub to him. Um, as much as he's supporting all of us, the least we can do is go show a little bit of love. Let me see. Let me do it like this. Smiley Aquarium. This is horrible. You guys got to see me try to spell. Did I mess it up again? Oh yeah. Well, if I learn how to spell, it would make things a lot smoother. Uh, Uncle Smiley, USA, or Joe. I like Smiley, so I think Joe. I'm always going to call you Smiley because I love that. Again, he's only got 44 subscribers. This one really blew me away. How can somebody that supports us as much as Joe only have 44 subs? That's impossible. So again, I want to apologize to you guys because you guys have been ride or die with me, for the longest time. And you know, it's if I'm going to be plugging, it's got to be people that support me. It just can't be Mexicali. I think I was the first aquarium channel that subbed to me when I be like that. Yeah, that's right, Beto. But see, that's why. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. And this goes back to why I like to give people wrenches. And I'm not expecting you to moderate anybody or anything on my channel. The sole purpose of you having the ability to be able to check out other people's channels is the reason why I like to do that wrench. because you can once you have the wrench, it allows you every time you see a new name pop into a chat, it makes it so easy to click on their name, go check out their channel, and see if it's something that you're interested in. And that's how I've come to I thought I've never I was reading Keith's comment. I was scrolling up. Never thought that Jorge could be live streaming from the bedroom. This is my granddaughter's bedroom when she comes and visits. It was gonna be my new fish room, but that's a that's a whole other story. Uh, I think the rug got pulled from under me, to say the least. So I think I'm back into the garage. Let's see. Like for example, here is somebody that I see that is not moderated by Z513. Uh, just added, and like I said, the reason is because then it allows you, it gives you the freedom to be able to see somebody that's new to the chat, or that, or somebody that you haven't seen before. You can click on their name. It'll give you the option to go check out their channel, and that's how I come to find a lot of these new channels. And a lot of the times they might not have any content, or they might not be thinking about it. As I told you, you empowered me to just be myself and share with others. It's one of those things where, like, I know, like Joe, for example, he's got one short video that he did where he's showing off his tanks. And if you look at that video, you'll see that Joe has a really nice tank. But again, it could be that initiation to go to maybe encourage uh somebody to go, oh, you know what, maybe I could do a video. And a lot of people, I get it, a lot of people do not like to be in front of the camera, but you should have already figured out by now that you can create content and never have to be in front of a camera. Look at Skeptical Aquatics, which I think he just recently came back yesterday, and he's under a new name. It's not Skeptical Aquatics anymore. I think it's Authority Aquariums or something like that. I would have to go digging for his channel, but that's a guy and he said it. He's never going to show his face. So you can do content now. You don't even have to talk, because I know some people feel nervous. It's the weirdest thing. It's taken me close to 4 years to get past that idea of talking to the void, because that's really what you're doing when you're doing a video. You're just kind of, talking to the abyss, and it's the weirdest thing. It never feels comfortable to sit there in front of a camera and pretend like people are watching what you're doing. I don't think that's something you really get over. It just kind of becomes second nature, though. You kind of get used to it, and you do it a little bit more. Yeah. Aquatic Authority. Yeah, that's what it is. Aquatics Authority. Thank you, Mel. Um, and again, it's the nice thing about this is you don't even have to talk. You could just show your tank. And I know some people get self-conscious. Oh, my tanks are not really nice and all that. There's all different types of tanks. Um, you if it doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're sharing what you're doing with other people that enjoy it. There's always going to be somebody that's gonna appreciate what you're doing, no matter what it is you do. So don't be discouraged from doing that. I like to everybody that I see that's curious enough to come to the chats, I will automatically click on their name, go subscribe. They could have no videos, but that doesn't mean that in the future they don't start putting out videos. You never know, and it's always best just to be. My occupation and background? I work at. I'm a dam operator. I work on a hydraulic dam, uh, and that's what I do. My background, it's just complicated because I've done a lot of things. Um, I've had a lot of employment. This is by far uh, the employment where I've been the longest, other than the military. Because the military I did 10 years, and I'm coming up on my 10th year um, with this company here. and everything else. And for a while there, it seemed like every 5 years I was switching jobs. It's I don't know why it was like every 5 years for the longest time. I think this last time when I got this one, I said I'm not gonna do that shit because I would think I was already in my 40s, and I said I'm not that young anymore to be able to find a job or not care. Uh, mm, but I really enjoy what I'm doing now. It's a great job. A jack of all trades, master of none. That's pretty much been my life. Like I said, I've been in the military. When I got out of the military, I was an intern with the Bureau of Land Management, the original BLM, and well, I was going through school, um, and then from there, I went and I was working for the local school district. Started it there as working security, and then moved into the classroom. So I taught for a couple of years. Unfortunately, this was like in 2008 in California, where the economy just collapsed, and because I wasn't a tenured um, teacher, we ended up getting pink slips. So there was a whole bunch of us that that got canned because of that. Fortunately, though, because they notified us like in January that they were going to cut all the non-tenured instructors or teachers. So it gave me an opportunity to start looking for work. For me, it worked out because I ended up working for the county for a department called the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District, and so I was able to terminate my contract with the school and then start up with our local county and work there. And in that job, it was a lot of doing public speaking, a lot of presentations, um, because it was promoting some state grants that was affecting the transportation industry. So that's what I did for about 5 years. And then from there, after that job, is when I went to go work for a nonprofit company. There, I did take a little bit of a misstep. I'm not gonna lie, because I got enticed by the money. Up until this point, I pretty much have worked in the public sector. I mean, in the public sector, and this is the first time going to work, quote unquote, a private sector. It was a nonprofit organization, and I thought I was doing good. And after that's the one that really crushed me though. I didn't know how I was going to bounce back from that one because I think I was only there for a year and a half, and I really I really think I got undermined, and I later found out that that was the case. There was a guy that was doing a similar job to what I was doing, and he had been there for a long time, and I was always wondering why he would kind of get upset that because our whole thing was to recruit new companies um, to the association, and he was happy to do about 30 new contracts in a year, and I think I did those like in 2 months, and I think that was part of the downfall. And but anyways, that one stung when I lost that job because we were really hoping because it was twice as much as what I was making working for the county. And so hey cinnamon girl, how you doing? But luckily, uh, I fortunately a lot of these jobs have allowed me to network, and I've met a lot of people. And and I've always been pretty upfront about everything I do. Um, I'm I don't hide shit. I never have. And luckily, I made some very good friends, and I was able to land where I'm at now. And once I got that, I've treasured that employment. That employment that I'm currently working at now is has really given us a lot as a family. So I have no negatives about what I'm doing. I love what I do. Um, you know, it allows us to do a lot of things that we didn't think we were going to be able to do. So yeah, I'm very blessed. I've been very blessed my entire life. Whether it comes to with friendships, family, work, um, I have been very fortunate that I've always seemed to come out ahead, no matter what. No matter what. I mean, we've faced some pretty difficult, excuse me, some pretty difficult challenges, but we always seem to come out ahead. And you know, I I just know somebody's looking out for me. That's really what it boils down to. The end of the day, somebody greater than me is making sure that we are doing fine. Um, you know, seldom do we have bad days, and so I'm always very grateful for that, and I don't take it for granted at all. I might have done it when I was younger, but now that when it's a different perspective, and I think there's really a paradigm change that happens. Uh, es todo, viva la raza, claro que sí. You know, when that happens, when you hit 50, at least it did for me, and it's that realization that we've been if you reach 50, you've been very fortunate to live 50 years, and everything else after that is bonus. We're living on bonus time. Every extra day that we get is special, because there's not going to be another 50 out of 50 years. There isn't. Very few people live to 100. The reality is, if we get 20 more, that is great. If we get 30 more, that is freaking awesome. If you get 40 more, you're in the few that make it up to that point. And so I it's not bad. I mean, I kind of like it because I don't take anything for granted. I think everything now from now on is it's a blessing, and it's extra, and you just got to enjoy it. That's all there is to it. It's very liberating in the fact that you could care less of people's opinions too. That shit, like when you're younger, either in your teens or your early 20s, where people's comments or what they might think of you might affect the way you think. Once you get to 50, you don't give a shit. And that's why I love being this age, because I could care less what anybody else thinks about me. I could care less what you might think who I am or what I am. I don't care. I don't care. I'm very comfortable with who I am. I am very comfortable with everything that I've accomplished. And at the end of the day, what you think of me doesn't matter, because the people that really do matter are my family, my spouse, and my close friends. And other than that, everything else, and once you have that perspective, it's more fun to live. You know, it's a big this like weight that gets lifted, and you don't have to worry about social constructs. What anyone else thinks of me is their business, not mine. Exactly. You there is such a thing as getting a little bit wiser when you get older, and that's just realizing that it doesn't matter. People are gonna like you or hate you for whatever their reasons are. You can't control that. It's just impossible to control that. You have nothing to do that. Don't threaten me, and I won't bite you. Yeah, it just like I said, I love the fact um, that me and my spouse are at this place in our relationship that it's I love my wife. This just I think that's one of the biggest blessings that I've received, is her companionship and the friendship that we have. And it's something that I never thought. And the reason I say that is because I kind of look at some of my family members that are a little bit older than us, and I don't see them having the same type of relationship with their spouses. And I've been very fortunate that I found somebody that wants to share the same goals with me, loves to have a good time, loves to laugh. Um, super supportive of everything that I do. Is plugging himself. Yeah, I guess so. But you know, it is what it is. So make sure if you guys are not sub to Steve or to Joe, Uncle Smiley, please, please go sub to them. And with that being said, that's all I really got for you today. I mean, I have a big list. I'll share it with you. These are just some of the other channels that are on here. Um, that I still have to talk about a little bit more. Um, and I was just really amazed as to how many channels I've already gotten the opportunity to kind of share with you guys. And hopefully that's something I continue to do. Uh, I think you guys enjoy it for the most part. And with that being said, I'll see you guys soon. You guys take care. Bye.